This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to Dr. TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello, and a warm welcome to another intriguing topic, because last 2 days what has been happening with Dr. TSPR channel, that is going to be proved right with another big exposure today. How can a parliament, the temple of democracy for any country, do not discuss, debate, and then without anything they decide such an important policy concerning every citizen? I can relate the last night incidents too. Kopi watches the live today. How in the name of, in the garb of protecting someone who is so influential and who doesn't want to be accounted as per rule of law, you pass a policy that cryptocurrencies can be 30% taxed. What is this nonsense? What is that money? Rajendran ji, we started in November when I telecasted that live, people laughed at me. Now they are vouching, running for the video. Sir, that cryptocurrency, what he have done, please give that elephant, we remember, but we don't remember everything. Kindly, I said, everything is there on the channel. Everyone can download, because honorable guests, wonderful guests like Ravichandran-Cyber ji and our own Rajendran ji, they come prepared with so much of information, so that you take the information, you decide whether this information is correct or not. Then you act. We don't impose. So that is the beauty of our guests. When such a crucial phase, the Ukraine, I've been telling you, Corona or Ukraine, there is a big conspiracy going on to make all innocent common people to surrender and suffer. Now they have made health as a big issue. Now they want to control the economy in the name of digital. How many of us know digital? Even today, since 2 days, my channel has been hacked. WhatsApp hacked. In spite of the best of the knowledge, best of the minds, we are running helter-skelter. We are not complaining against anyone. Do whatever you feel like, because our show will run on the basis of rule of law, constitution, invoking evidential act. Nothing against anyone. We are happy you are doing that. That clearly shows that in spite of your curbs on the watch list or subscribers, viewers, it is reaching masses, and it is reaching the people who matter. We call the bullseye. That is why you are troubled. Instead, we release a poster flyer 24 hours before with the mobile number. You can participate and see here again the same crypto hidden agenda is being unleashed in the form of digital card, health, now in the form of digital economy. We don't know what the digital Ravichandran-ji and Rajendran-ji was also candidly saying. There should be a discussion. You take common people, the people of India, into this thing, and because it is a constitution, provides such scope for every citizen, because India is a republic and every citizen is a constitutional authority. Without them understanding, without them participating for the sake of few 1%, if you are trying to change a policy, I don't call it as a policy. There is no discussion. All of a sudden, whimsically, they announce. And how these other political parties, I'm not blaming BJP alone, how these other political parties, they don't even bother to raise this issue, raise all non-irrelevant issues. But such a big issue, 30% tax on cryptocurrency. What is that currency? Who is holding that currency? From where the currency is originating? And is it because from the trade of illicit drugs, arms? Which money is that? That is what we have been saying. We have a doubt. Instead of bringing black money from the so-called banks, you have made a law wherein all political parties came together now. We cannot question and get information on NRI's funding of political parties, leave alone even the political electoral bonds, which have become very opaque. That means which company is funding, which NRI company is giving what, no one knows. Everything crypto hidden, all political parties together. Now the same is happening with cryptocurrency. This will destroy the independence of a commoner, a common citizen, common man, to have his way of investment or expenditure. So without delaying much, I think we have wonderful guest in Rajendran-ji. He's the DISAI chairman. Like me, he also runs from pillar to the post. We say we don't want any illegal money in the form of crypto. If you want to fund us straight, you fund us through our bank details, or else you want to donate through online. We will receive that equipment, whatever we need. Only Apple equipment. Even Apple equipment now is not withstanding this. Apple company has to come out clean now. It is for them. Yes, sir. Such a wonderful topic. Once again, welcome to this special show. Before, yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Reddy.
Yeah.
It's again a very wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts, though very briefly this time.
Yep.
Because it was exactly about 5 months back when we started the discussion of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and digital, particularly cryptocurrencies in our channel. I think it was November 3rd week or 4th week, if I remember the date correct. Subsequently, in fact, I followed it up with my discussions, not only in this channel, but also in quite a few other channels also, including with some local Tamil vernacular print media and online media and all that. Basically, one point which I would like to reiterate here is, I have been, not just I, many of us like-minded persons who are concerned about the nation's economy and who have the spirit of nationalism left with them. I mean, who are more concerned about the financial fabric, financial infrastructure of the nation. We have been expressing our concerns that cryptocurrency is a perfect haven for black money. If let to grow, it will ruin the economy. Many developed countries also have now realized it. They want to bring in some kind of regulation, some kind of monitoring, or some kind of accountability on it. For example, if you lose money in the share market, you have SEBI, you have the civil code, criminal code, IPC, everything is there based on evidence act and all that. Even normal contractor also will come into the being. Like, so when you even now, among all the other trades, share market is the only one which is somewhat loosely comparable to trading in cryptocurrency. Loosely comparable, I would say, because share market is the only thing which is not backed by any physical goods, unlike gold or any other wholesale goods or manufacture, real estate or textiles or any other industry. Share market is just based on demand and supply, a theory only, demand and supply. Similarly is cryptocurrency. But the comparison ends there. The comparison ends there. Nothing else is comparable. Nothing else is equal. Because share market is backed by a perfect regulator. I mean, some people may object to my using the word a perfect regulator. Some people may even say that SEBI is not a perfect regulator, because in fact SEBI also has failed on quite a few occasions. And what SEBI has done in the past few years, they are also under cloud. There are Chitra Ramakrishnan episode and Arvind Subramanian episode and all that. Government coming into the picture and CBI taking up the case. Let's not go deeper into all those things. I would like to confine my discussions. With the aspect of the strength and weaknesses of a regulatory body, if any exist. Even when there is a regulatory body in the name of SEBI, the share market, NSE, BSE, they come out of cloud quite often. Under the criticism that SEBI is not doing its job well. Now, think of an industry wherein the amount traded is almost, I mean, volume-wise, quantity-wise, I would say, equal to the share market trading, or perhaps a little less than that. So far, quite less compared to the amount of trading in the share market. In fact, we can't even tell you what is the amount traded. That is the whole problem here. We don't know what is the amount traded, what is the amount at stake, because it is completely unregulated. There is no SEBI, no TROI, no RBI, no IRDA, no regulator, nothing. Nobody knows who your buyer is. Nobody knows to whom you are selling. This is the essence. This is the unique selling point, USP of cryptocurrency market. This is a particular feature in which people have been criticizing that this is the market which should be banned. But of course, the government also, I mean, RBI also filed a case, and then subsequently Supreme Court dismissed the case. Somebody filed a case against it, Internet Mobile Owners Association, Internet Users Association. Then subsequently Supreme Court struck down the circular of RBI banning the use of caution in the bank not to use cryptocurrency. This circular was struck down by Supreme Court on the grounds of disproportionality. This is not in proportion with the powers vested with the RBI. Let us not go deeper into why RBI did not prefer an appeal, why Finance Ministry did not prefer an appeal. All those things will lead into a lot of political ramifications if you go deeper into all these things. Now, the budget has made it official. They said that it's going to be 30% tax, and the finance bill has been passed yesterday. What is the amount of debate? How many scholars? Our parliament does not have a dearth of scholars. I can certainly say there are many qualified economists, qualified engineers, qualified graduates, postgraduates. They are all there in the parliament. In the ruling party as well as the opposition party as well, they could have debated very much on the reasonableness of the government in imposing a tax of 30% on a market which is completely unregulated. One particular school of thought, quite understandably, quite reasonably, justifiably, and logically too, says that you are trying to tax an illegal income. Even Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister, also said that the mere fact that an income is illegal does not make it exempt from tax, because illegal tainted money also can be taxed. Any income can be taxed, even though there is a taint of illegality in it. That is as per our government's tax regulations. I am not questioning that. Now the point is, government has passed the bill without much debate. Already there was a news report. A leading VIP, a popular actor, he reported an income in Singapore, and he has voluntarily paid around 30%, the GST component of 18%, the 30% income from that. Now, had this been not there, the amount he would have earned because of this transaction, nobody would have even come to know of it. So there is a positive thing to look at it, that this has come to something like a voluntary disclosure scheme. An income which would not have otherwise come to the light of the day has now come to the light of the day, with the VIP paying a tax of 1.75 crores or close to 2 crores. He has paid it. Okay, whatever. So this is the first step. So perhaps in the days to come, people may come forward. People may say there's a profit in cryptocurrency, or government may try to regulate. But where are we heading for? Are you not trying to giving a message indirectly that cryptocurrency income is taxable, so cryptocurrency can be traded? Ultimately, when there is a question, the people will get a feeling that, oh, whatever, whether it is legal or illegal, whatever is income, I have paid the tax. So I'm also a perfect national spirited, patriotic citizen in having met tax commitment. Is it what the government wants? So these are all the larger picture, larger questions which the government has now thrown open. Perhaps in the days to come, with more and more discussions, more and more cases being filed, or RBI coming out with more additional weapons and more strength to fight the menace of black money. And Prime Minister Modi himself, very particularly, he has been vociferously talking against black money, bringing back the black money from many tax havens abroad. So with all those positive things, let us hope something good will certainly happen in this country. So with this, let me wind up. I'm also very eager to listen to
Yes,
Mr. Ravichandran. Over to you, Ravi.
Ravichandran will now make what Parliament has done. Is it right or wrong? With evidences he's going to present now. And there are many takes. You do anything illegal, as you have building regulation, land regulation, you bloody get it. Then where is the rule of law of the land? I don't understand. Anyhow, let us listen to Mr. Ravichandran-ji, because he is going to take us on a ride in regards to cryptocurrency, as to how and why a parliament which is supposed to discuss and debate such a crucial policy, how is that they just pass it off just like that? We don't understand. It's mind-boggling. It happens only in India, I feel.
Good morning, Dr. Reddy, and thank you for having me on the show once again. Thank you for the introduction, Mr. Rajendran. So I will be talking to you about how the government, Parliament has enabled laundering of money digitally.
Have full screen on. You can have full screen. Yeah, okay. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Now, I would like to remind people of Ronald Reagan's quotes. Government's view of the economic this thing can be summed up in a few short phrases. If something moves, tax it. If it keeps moving, regulate it. If it stops moving, subsidize it. This is what government does. And this is what our government is also doing. In another quote, he has said, if you cannot control crime, legalize it and tax it. These are the two solutions that Ronald Reagan has proposed, and this is what our government has implemented today. You cannot stop cryptocurrency, you cannot stop black money, therefore legalize it and tax it. You cannot stop drug trade, so legalize it and tax it. This is what we want. Now, regarding Parliament, discussion in Parliament, as Dr. Reddy was telling, regarding discussion in Parliament, we have, there were questions raised by one honorable member and the former finance minister. Now, both these people are well versed in cryptocurrency, share market. In fact, they have been indicted on some charges also, and they have spent time in Tihar jail also. So we have a discussion between two opposition members who are well versed in cryptocurrency, share market, etc., and the finance minister, whose replies, at least whose replies indicate that she knows very little about cryptocurrency. Now, what sort of discussion can be had here? We have two people who have a vested interest in continuing with cryptocurrency, and they are in the opposition. And we have a finance ministry which is clueless about what it is going to do. What is the sort of legislation that we can expect from this issue? Yes, the Prime Minister has said, "मैं नहीं खाऊंगा, नहीं खाने दूंगा." So what is the next best alternative? Legalize it. सिर्फ legalize करूंगा.
My goodness.
Now, what is money laundering? I have been talking about money laundering. Mr. Rajendran has been talking about money laundering. See, there are two types of money. One is black money on which tax cannot be paid, on which tax is not paid. That is, evasion has taken place. Income has not been declared. This is legal income which has not been declared, on which tax has not been paid. That is black money. Then there is another thing called dirty money. Dirty money is something which you don't declare, because if you declare, you can get caught. And dirty money is money on which tax cannot be paid, because you can't declare it. Now, money laundering is making illegal money legal or dirty money white. It is not about black money being made white. It is about tainted money, illegal money or dirty money making it white. This took its name originally from the mafia gangs in America, where during the time of prohibition, they were making a lot of money by selling illicit liquor. And this money they wanted to make it white. So they were using laundry shops, literally laundry shops, to show income and make that money white. This is why it got the name money laundering. Now, what is dirty money? Like I said, by definition, dirty money is any money which is illegal. And what are the illegal means by which money can be made are like the offenses cited in the Narcotics and Psychotropic Act, Prevention of Corruption Act, IPC, etc. Now, the funny part is only India and Albania are the two countries in the entire world which list out the offenses by which illegal money is generated. In the PMLA Act, there is a schedule which specifies what are the illegal offenses by which illegal money is generated. And till a few years back, black money was not even on that list. That is, money, evaded money was not even on that list. It is only now that they have made an amendment and they have included concealed income in that list. Now the question is, why should money be laundered at all? What is the pressure to launder it? The money is to be sanitized. Otherwise, the problem is, if you don't sanitize that money, you can't keep that money in your house. If there is an income tax rate, then you'll have to show the source. And if you have to show the source, then you will have to disclose your illegal activities. So it has to be sanitized. That is the reason why money laundering takes place. Now, how it can be laundered? It can be channelized into the system surreptitiously, insidiously. And when it is done, the source is protected. That is, the source of that money is protected, and that money can be declared as a legal income, and it is brought into the mainstream of the economy. Now, money laundering itself is a crime. Now, what makes it different from other crimes is PMLA Act says that the money that is brought in for a laundering should be from an illegal entity. That is, conviction or trial under the Money Laundering Act follows conviction or trial for a criminal offense. Only then this Money Laundering Act trial will be successful. That is why most of the crimes, if the fundamental, the basic criminal offense is not proved, then the question of money laundering does not arise. This is why PMLA Act, trials under the PMLA Act are not very successful. This is the reason. Now, how is the process affected? Now we have 3-4 different steps. Smurfing, that is, you break the money into very small units. Then you place these small units in different banks. Or now, since the government has permitted it, you can open a crypto wallet and you can place it in the crypto wallet. Then once it is placed there, you move the money from account to account or wallet to wallet till nobody will be able to identify where the money originally came from. And finally, this money is integrated. I will be talking about this process, and in the end, I will give you a fund flow statement about how money comes in and goes out. Now, what is this smurfing? Smurfing is breaking of large amounts of cash into small allowable units. For example, every country has got a threshold of cash transactions which are permitted. In US, it is I think about $10,000 or something. In India, you can cash transactions up to 20,000 rupees are permitted. Otherwise, you have to go by check or DD. And there is a restriction on the total amount of cash which can be withdrawn from the bank, up to 49,999 without asking any questions. Beyond this, it is deemed to be a suspicious transaction. So this is smurfing, breaking of the illegal money into small units. Then layering. Once this amount is placed into the account, it is transferred between multiple accounts or transactions, and in multiple banks, in multiple cities. It can even be overseas banks to hide the audit trail, because once the money goes from one account to another account to the third account, fourth account, fifth account, overseas account, inside country account, by the time you get down to the where the money originated from, it will be very difficult to find out. Now, if the bank which receives the money is located somewhere in, say, Seychelles or Mauritius, I am mentioning specifically Seychelles and Mauritius, or any other tax haven like the Cayman Islands, Singapore, Cyprus, Costa Rica, British Virgin Islands, any of these islands, then you can forget about finding the source because nobody is going to give you the details. Now, why I mentioned Mauritius? Mauritius, we have got a treaty which is called participatory notes or PNIs. Now, what is it? We have got a treaty with Mauritius where double taxation is not permitted. Whereas money coming from Mauritius, if it is taxed in Mauritius, there is no tax in India. The money can be repatriated to Mauritius. And in Mauritius, you can't find out who is behind the company which is doing the transactions. This is where, incidentally, between 2010 to 2014, 60% of our FDI was coming from Mauritius. Is Mauritius such a developed country that it can invest 60% of the total FDI which was received in India? In fact, we are giving aid to Mauritius, which means what is this money all about? This money is nothing but black money being round-tripped, black money being taken out and brought back into the country through Mauritius for laundering purposes. It is simple. In fact, I have investigated 2-3 cases in this money laundering business where the money was traced from here to Cyprus, Cyprus to Mauritius, Mauritius to back to India. It was invested in a stock exchange, in a bullion market. So this is how the money goes. Now, once the money comes into the country, now it is coming through participatory notes. So now it is official. Now this money is invested in the stock market. It can be invested in the commodity market. It can be interested in the foreign exchange derivatives. It can be invested in film industry. It can be given as industrial loans. It can be invested in the real estate sector. And this is how it happens. Sports team, etc. So many ways of doing it. Now, what are the aids to the process? Originally, it was confidentiality of the bank accounts, banking system. For example, if I ask Rajendran as a banker for some information about some account, he will immediately flash that banker's confidentiality statement and say, get lost. But now, because of cryptocurrency, it is anonymity of the cryptocurrency, because even those who are authenticating the cryptocurrencies do not know who the transactor is or who the transactee is. Now, there are no controls and there are no report requirements because the PMLA Act has not been amended to include cryptocurrency, which means that the exchanges, they need not maintain any registers, or they need not report to any authority regarding their customers or clients. The problem is they need not report because there is no law. They cannot report because there is no regulatory agency to report to. And incidentally, here I have to make a small observation. Last week I was addressing some people, some bankers, and I was shocked. One banker said that an online account was opened by one person X using the Aadhaar card of another person Y and the PAN number of a third person Z. So, where a bank is supposed to have a KYC norm verification, etc., etc., and it is supposed to be very rigid under the surveillance of the Reserve Bank of India, when a bank is not able to maintain the KYC accounts and open accounts without verifying any details, what am I supposed to talk about service exchanges dealing with cryptocurrency? What sort of KYC norms will they have when there is no regulation to do it, when there is no obligation to report to anybody? So it is total anonymity. Now, all that it takes to open a crypto wallet is an email ID and a mobile number. That's all. Mobile numbers I can get for 150 rupees. I can get a SIM card on somebody's name, on somebody's address based in Northeast. This is how Nigerian frauds happen. I can call a local laborer, illiterate laborer, and tell him that I'm going to ask him for his proof of ID proof and Aadhaar card, and tell him that I'm going to open an account in his name. What can be done? And I open a crypto wallet in his name. I open crypto wallets, multiple crypto wallets. So all that it takes now is I have about 5 or 6 crypto wallets. I put money in the bank in their name, and from their bank accounts I transfer money to this crypto wallet. And once I get it into the crypto wallet, I can shift it from one crypto wallet to the other crypto wallet so that nobody will be able to find out the source of that money. What regulations has the government got to block this? Now, this is one of the reasons why both Rajendran and myself are vociferously objecting to cryptocurrencies. Anonymity. And when you don't know who is the transactor or who is the transactee, how is the government going to tax them? Unless and until I come forward and tell the government, I am dealing in cryptocurrency, I have made a profit of 2.5 crores here, you take your 30% of 60 lakhs or whatever it is. Like that VIP who has done it, he has made a profit of 10 crores, 7.5 crores, and out of that he has paid 2.5 crores as tax, saying that this is the profit on the cryptocurrency. My point is, are you asking the people who have dirty money, black money, who have posted? Incidentally, this actor's name figured in the Pandora's list of accounts held in a tax haven in, I think, Cayman Islands or British Virgin Islands. Or in other words, because he has been discovered, has he been provided with a route to declare this income? That is, it is a voluntary disclosure scheme now. And this is on a sustainable basis. This is not a one-time thing. Anybody can, today if I make 30 lakhs as a illegal money or a dirty money, all that I have to do is buy a Bitcoin by distributing this 30 lakhs over a different crypto wallets and trading in that and coming back and telling the government, I have made a profit of 30 lakhs here, this is your 9 lakhs. What about penalties? What about fines? By doing this 30% tax on crypto profits, the government has effectively undermined both the enforcement directorate and the income tax. They have effectively undermined their activities. And they have also undermined the RBI. How have they undermined the RBI? Now, the finance minister has defined what is a digital asset. Digital asset can be a cryptocurrency or it can be an NFT, non-fungible token. Non-fungible token can be a digital painting or anything digital. Now, how is this digital asset being purchased in the market? This asset is being purchased by making the payment in crypto tokens, cryptocurrencies. Now, the RBI, after the Supreme Court ruling, has said that cryptocurrencies can be dealt with as a commodity. You can trade in it, you can store in it, you can store it, but you cannot use it as a legal tender, or in other words, you cannot make payment for purchase of anything. Now, this is what the RBI has said. This is what the government has also said. Now, if you are going to say digital assets, profits made on transactions involving digital assets can be taxed, you are recognizing that cryptocurrencies can be permitted as a legal tender. Now, this is contradictory to what you're saying. On one hand, you say that cryptocurrencies is not legal tender. On the other hand, you are saying that if cryptocurrencies are used to purchase a digital asset and you make a profit on it, it will be taxed. Or in other words, you are permitting legal cryptocurrencies as a legal tender now. So what is the next step? Give a GST number and collect GST also. Permit them to collect input tax also. So tomorrow you can call telephone Dawood Ibrahim and tell him to register under the GST Act so that he can be taxed. Without understanding the implication of the law that these people are bringing, a law has been brought in and it has been approved in the parliament. Is this the discussion that we want? Mr. Rajendran has said there are eminent people in the parliament. There are qualified engineers, economists. So what are they doing? Isn't this supposed to be discussed? How is this being permitted? Tomorrow anybody can take it to court. The court will probably throw it out also. Isn't it a waste of parliament time? Now there are 6,000 currencies in circulation, cryptocurrencies. Now you tell me out of 6,000 currencies, I don't have to require 6,000 currencies. I'll just take about 30 or 40 currencies and keep distributing my black money around these currencies. How are you going to find out what is the source of my money? This is called sovereign irresponsibility. This is aiding black money laundering. And because of digital these things, you can have overseas banking communications. You have accessibility to secure and fast communications. And unfortunately, our enforcement agencies do not have the resources to keep up with all this. And we have chartered accountants who are ready to advise people to go on this also. And people also get cheated. Ordinary people do not know what is cryptocurrency. Immediately they go and buy it. Just because somebody has told. Cryptocurrency, you can make money. This is a creation of a bubble. And if this persists, then we will have a very bad fall. And unless the government realizes this and backtracks on what it has proposed, we are going to face difficult times ahead. Now, this is the process which cryptocurrency can be used to launder black money. You create crypto wallets in several IDs. You transfer money in small units through payment gateways or by direct cash payments to exchanges for crediting into the crypto wallets. Now, if I got some receivable to come, that also I can credit it to the crypto wallet. Once the depositor gets this money can be transferred from one wallet to another. It can be used to trade in different currencies also, to obfuscate the source from where this money is coming from. This money can also be sent overseas, like British Islands, Cayman Islands, Panama, Cyprus, Singapore, etc. The money which is collected there can then be routed through shell companies which are floated in Mauritius, Seychelles, or countries with which India has got a tax treaty, with a declaration that the money did not originate in India. Yes, of course, because this money has gone out and is coming from Virgin Islands, so I will say that it is not originating from India. Then the money is then transferred into an investment company in India or a sports-related company in the form of participatory notes, thanks to Mr. Chidambaram, because he was the one who introduced this participatory notes or foreign direct investment. Once the profits are generated, this profit is sent back to the shell company and back to the original company as proceeds from legal trade. So your money is laundered. So how does this cryptocurrencies help? Now, these are the points that I've already discussed. Blockchain, fundamentally, as Mr. Rajendran put it, blockchain, the unique selling proposition of a blockchain is that it hides the transactors. And how is the government going to identify the transactors? No idea. Now, if the government is going to depend upon the transactors to reveal the value of the transactions that they have made for collecting this tax, is this a voluntary disclosure scheme on a long-term basis, on a permanent basis? And if profits on sale of digital assets are to be taxed, then it is just the legalization of use of cryptocurrency as a legal tender. Now, the role of the RBI has been undermined effectively. Now, what will happen if in a blockchain, let us assume that in a blockchain consisting of about 100 blocks, 2 or 3 blocks in between have not been taxed. So what happens to the end transaction? Will he be obliged to pay for the 2-3 blocks which have not been taxed in the middle also? Is the government going to take the entire blockchain into consideration or only the last transaction? Because if it's going to be the last transaction, there won't be any sense in doing it. Because I can always say I purchased the Bitcoin currency at 20 lakhs and sold it for 21 lakhs. So my profit is only 1 lakh. Whereas in the previous earlier blockchain, they would have made a lot more money. Now, if that is also going to be taken into consideration, it will be difficult. Now, how is the government going to tax them? Because their blockchain has to be disclosed. How is it going to be disclosed? Who is going to disclose it? Now, more important is, I can now start a Ponzi scheme legally, run it online, take my collections in cryptocurrency, and pay 30% tax. Or in other words, today Ponzi scheme has become legal. How is the investor protected for this? This is why the Reserve Bank of India governor specifically said that cryptocurrencies is the biggest Ponzi scheme. Government has legalized Ponzi scheme because they are not able to control it. And they are willing to put a tax on that. And the investor can go and die. Now, again, there is a contradiction, there is a confusion in the government itself. In the 2019 bill, which was supposed to be placed before Parliament, it talked of banning of cryptocurrency and regulation of the official digital currency bill. That was the original proposal. Now the word banning has been removed. The latest bill says cryptocurrency and regulation of the official digital currency bill. Or in other words, the government has indicated that it is not going to ban cryptocurrency. This is how the government works. The PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, Foreign Exchange Management Act, and Companies Act, which are directly involved in cryptocurrencies, which affect cryptocurrencies, they have not been amended till date. Without amending that, how can you announce a policy on cryptocurrencies? In fact, the Data Protection Act has also not been passed. Once the Data Protection Act has been passed, then there is a problem of getting information about those who have invested in cryptocurrencies, because financial transactions come under sensitive information. There is going to be a problem on that also. Collection of data on those people who are investing in cryptocurrencies. Now, different states have passed acts to protect investors. For example, Tamil Nadu, we have the TNPID, Tamil Nadu Protection of Investor Deposits Act. Once you legalize the Ponzi scheme, then what is there to protect? How do you protect the investor? There must be amendments to the RBI Act and the Banking Act also. Without doing all this, what is the point in passing a bill saying that I'm going to levy 30% tax? Now, this leads me to the conclusion that either the finance ministry is ignorant of what is cryptocurrency and its implications, or they are in collusion with other people to pass this act. That I leave it for the listeners to decide. This is my opinion on this. And how does a fund flow statement take? This is how a fund flow statement happens. You have a company account which is in the center. You have cash. This is, of course, this fund flow statement I had put for money laundering of regular physical money. But instead of cash converting into DD, I convert cash into cryptocurrencies and then put it into the bank, take it to some overseas account in tax, bring it to overseas companies, bring it back as participatory notes, invest it in share and FX market and investment in reality notes, and then bring it back. Now it is legal. Now it is laundered. Now it is pure white. So this is how this entire exercise will take place. Now the government has declared ease of doing business. One thing I am confident is the government has eased the business of money laundering. And if that is what they want, then there is nothing much more for me to say, except that this is going to be very bad for the economy. So thank you, Dr. Shiva Prasad, for giving me a patient. Yes, sir.
One second, Ravichandran-ji, can you explain this again? Because for commoners to understand how the money is laundered in a normal way through cash and how it can be converted to crypto. You explain this chart so that it will go.
See, this chart is very simple. All that I do is I float a company or a firm and open an account in the firm's name. Now there are legal funds, there are illegal funds. Legal funds I call from depositors or receivables, whatever I have to receive, that is all legal, that is coming through the bank into my account. Now illegal money is mainly by cash. Cash is converted into DDs, or it can be put into my personal account and transferred to the company's account, or I can ask somebody else to put it in their account and transfer it by check into my account. So this is how cash is being accounted for. Now, where cash is, instead of converting it into a DD or into putting it into my personal account, all that I have to do is open a series of crypto wallets and transfer this cash into the crypto wallets either directly or through somebody else. Or I can put it into my personal account and transfer it into the crypto wallet. I would not prefer to put it into my account because then it becomes accountable. So like I said, I open a number of accounts in the names of a few illiterate laborers who don't know anything about it, who are willing to give their name, IDs for a monthly remuneration of 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, like what the Nigerians do. So once this entire amount is transferred into a cryptocurrency, then from there, I can either transfer it into an overseas tax haven, again by way of cryptocurrency, or I can use this cryptocurrency to buy a digital asset and invest it there. And if there is money which is to come to me from overseas, again, I take it into my overseas account, or I get it in the form of cryptocurrency into my wallet and transfer it back. So, for example, if I do a show in America and I am paid $1 lakh there, I tell them, you give it to me in cryptocurrency. cryptocurrency comes into my wallet. It is not accounted anywhere. It is anonymous. I need not declare it anywhere. Now I get 1 lakh income into my crypto wallet, and this 1 lakh income, I put it into some other cryptocurrency and tell the government, look, I have invested 1 lakh into this and I have got 10,000 rupees profit. Out of 10,000 rupees profit, here is your 3,000 rupees. So, normal circumstances, 1 lakh will carry, assuming that he is in the highest slab, 1 lakh will carry a tax requisition of almost about 20,000 rupees. Now he is getting away with 3,000 rupees.
And even the source also, you need not.
Pardon?
I need not even disclose source also now.
I did not disclose source also. And once this entire money is accumulated in some overseas company, all that I have to do is transfer it into some company, shell company in Mauritius or Seychelles or any other company which has got a tax treaty with India. Now, when I open a shell company in Mauritius, my my identity need not be disclosed. For example, the best example that I can give you now is in the National Stock Exchange, there is a company called Tiger Global or something, Tiger 5 Global or some company, which has a major shareholder in the National Stock Exchange. And that Global 5 Tiger is registered in Mauritius. It is not even registered in Mauritius. It has got an office in Mauritius. It has got an office in New York, and it is registered in British Virgin Islands. The identity, the directors of that company is not known. Or in the biggest national...
Dr. Reddy, I would like to add something very interesting about Mauritius, which I read about 4 or 5 years back. During the peak of the previous UPA government, not this government, UPA government, and of course, the first 2-3 years of this government also, this government was not prepared to fight black money. So, around 25 to 30 companies listed in the National Stock Exchange, they were caught in a scam. And SEBI had to inquire, SEBI appointed somebody there. And when SEBI verified the addresses, out of the 45-50 companies which were caught in the scam, around 18 companies, they had the same address of one address in Mauritius. And then they deputed a team to Mauritius. They went and verified. It was a big shopping complex. So first floor, hardly about 3 or 4 rooms of about 10 by 10 or 20 by 20, that kind of thing. And 15, 16 companies had given the same shop or adjacent shops, 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 2D, 2A, like that, as the user addresses. So, and there was nobody there. No staff was there. If the security said that people don't come, people don't. I don't think the business is being dealt with. They do only online transactions, but the transaction dealt with under SEBI, it comes to lakhs and crores. But what will happen very interestingly, just for about 1 year, they'll be very active. After second and third year, there'll be nothing there. There'll be just nothing after about 2-3 years. Then again, some other company in some other building of Mauritius will come. They'll be very active for about 2-3 years. Or not even 2-3 years, perhaps about a few months or about 1 year. So the barrier trail will become very difficult. So this is the modus operandi. But this is what, in fact, Ravi is telling, and Ravi also would have seen such very interesting stories.
See, this is just a table company. For 5 minutes, my company is my table is one company. After 5 minutes, it's another company. After 5 minutes, it's a third company. So in this case, in the National Stock Exchange, one of the top investors in the National Stock Exchange is a company which is registered in a tax haven, having offices in New York, and directing the investment into stock exchange through Mauritius. Who is the person behind this company? Nobody knows. It is another mistake. This time not in the Himalayas, it is in Mauritius. So, Shell, see, when the veil of secrecy is so high, cryptocurrency is just adding to that now. So this is called round tripping. Now this is why Mauritius at one time was investing almost about 60% FDI was coming from Mauritius. And participatory notes is the route by which round tripping is occurring. In fact, in the first BJP government, Yashwant Sinha wanted to he banned participatory notes. The day he banned participatory notes, the stock exchange index fell by a couple of thousand points. There was a crash. And he was compelled to withdraw that ban. Or in other words, his stock exchange is being run by black money. What more can I say? Now the government has enabled laundering of this money by using taxing cryptocurrency and giving it a legal facade without saying that it is legal. The finance minister or the finance ministry officials can, to use the Shashi Tharoor's words, they can obfuscate, they can discombobulate, they can beat around the bush, and they can draw a lot of red herrings. But the fact remains that at the end of the day, money laundering has been in a lot of ways enabled by this 30% tax.
Whether it is IPL in the form of cricket, now Kabaddi, so many IPL, so many sports events, from where this money, which are these companies? Now here is the evidence. What is happening? When the earlier UPA government, if it has done something wrong, why this government, Atmanirbhar government, which boasts of our culture, our people, what is this government doing? It has done more than what even the opposition parties have expected.
They have legalized it, that's all.
What can I say after this entire this? That means our lives, our economy, is it in the hands of Dawood Ibrahim or drug peddlers or arms dealers, or who are they who are going to control us? India.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
All the elite parliamentarians, we have provided you with these evidences. You prove us wrong. We invite you again. You prove us wrong. You cannot try to hack our channels, buddy. You prove us wrong now. This is going to be a big debate across the globe, I'm telling you. Is this the way an upcoming Indian economy should be doing? Come on, Parliament. You have to discuss and debate. Parliament is known for that. How can a cryptocurrency can be legalized? How can you tax 30%? Is this not illegal money becoming tainted money or drug money? Dirty money becoming white? And who are those who are going to dictate terms to Indian economy? This is strange and surprising. This is shocking. Mind you, this is shocking. And in 2019, I am asking the same government, 2019, you were planning to ban cryptocurrency. Correct. RBI is shouting from the rooftop even now. It says it is Ponzi scheme. You don't know who is the investor, from what money this is, from where this is coming, origin you don't know, source you don't know, who are the entities you don't know. How can this money be taxed? Now he has shown how this black money can be regulated in the form of cryptocurrency. Now it is a big potential danger to the entire Indian economy, because it matters, it concerns to every Indian citizen. I feel this is shaming the upcoming economy. And that is this the reason why all these political parties have become one? We have been shouting from the rooftop All NRI funding to the political parties from 1974. Now you cannot source. Silently, they have passed this in Rajya Sabha. All political parties together. Electoral bonds you have seen. The funding, which company is funding, how much money, which party, you don't have any information. Now RTI or no information, you cannot exercise. They have done such a lot exercise in the name of Corona pandemic, under the name of Epidemic Act, Disaster Management Act, not allowing people to come onto the roads to understand. Now you have put a big bomb. How all of a sudden Nirmala Sitharaman ji, we thought you are the first women finance minister, twice presenting the budget. Even this parliament, we expected that India will march. India will become transparent. India will become accountable of every paisa or rupee which is traded or which is spent. But what is happening? We expected a lot, 15 lakhs into each and every account. Mr. Prime Minister Modi, 2014, he said we'll end the black money. Even I was very much happy, to be honest with you. One EMI, if I don't pay, bloody, they tax us like anything. You go and buy gold, they tax you. But what about this? Such a big scam. Parliament doesn't discuss. And he has clearly pointed out last UPA government, who is that gentleman who was more interested, who brought participatory notes, and he had gone to Tihar jail. Now you have done more than what he has done to Indian economy then. What shall we do now? RBI, now what one stroke, you have not allowing RBI to function now. Enforcement Directorate, Income Tax Department, now they are going to harass only common people like us because we speak truth. But not all these fellows who have taken away our hard-earned money. This money may be corruption. That is why all political parties are keeping quiet. These politicians all of a sudden go to Dubai, all of a sudden go to America. Why they go? When they go with family and all, they carry an amount of dollars, foreign currency also with them. That means our Indian money is converted into foreign currency, and with them, whenever they go, the individual members, they can carry some amount of money with them. They go there, they deposit that money, and happily they say we are doing this and this, so many meetings. All of a sudden they go. We don't understand why they go to foreign countries, and they are allowed. They get visa. That is one aspect. But this is a big aspect which is going to threaten our own survival. Every citizen is a constitutional authority. Their survival depends on the hard-earned money which they make out of their own enterprising nature and through sheer hard work, their potential. That is their right. Now you are trying to rob all that right in the form of these Ponzi schemes. Through this show, after watching this, now I directly ask Honorable Prime Minister of India and our Finance Minister, including all political parties, you are answerable. What is this money, 30% cryptocurrency, which we have already dealt with? Is it dirty money? Is it black money? Or is it any other money? All banks now we have to answer, including RBI or whoever is. Know your customer. Every now and then you keep asking us. But what about this? Are banks going to be safe? Because people think banks get money by mortgaging our heads, Indian heads, in the lead banks. That has to be understood. We have to understand that. This is a big say. In whose interest? Cryptocurrency 30% tax, we have exposed it. Now this has become more and more. Yes, sir, before we say bye, passing comment from Rajendran ji and Ravichandran ji.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. In fact, Ravichandran has given a good presentation. I do not want any further. Possibly just one sentence. As a person, as a normal citizen, interested in the financial strength, financial fabric, financial strength of the nation, I was really worried and concerned that why the government is doing like that. Perhaps it was an occasion for me to share my concerns, and we only hope that good sense and logic will prevail upon the government to, notwithstanding the taxation of the cryptocurrency 30%, notwithstanding the fact that it has been passed as a bill, notwithstanding the fact that somebody has already paid an amount, government exchequer has already got some revenue, notwithstanding the fact that the government is hoping to get something more revenue, let us still hope that the regulation, if not banning, at least regulation, will certainly be in place in the days to come. With that optimistic note, let me conclude. Thank you.
Yeah, in a democracy, we should be optimistic because we do the shows only to say that mistakes, if they are done, we should correct it on the floor of the parliament itself because it is in the good of the country. Yes, sir, Ravichandran-ji, your passing comment. Now, all political parties corruption, it is rerouted. Now it is being regularized. That is why they say there is no corruption because corruption cannot be seen now because you are regularizing corruption in a strong way. Yes, Ravichandran-ji, that is why there is no corruption.
See, the problem with this government is that the question is not of taxing people too much. That is not the problem. The problem is the government is overspending. That is the problem. And again, when you overspend, you require funds. But is this the way that you take funds? Is this the way that you want to tax? That is the question. In this context, are we going to regularize illegal activities just because the government wants some revenue? However, it is for the government to decide.
It is for the government to decide, are you going to regularize illegal activities, corruption or dirty money or black money, no source known, no individual entity known, just all of a sudden you are allowing them as if to regularize land building. That can be seen here physically. But here, nothing is seen. And what with that ill-gotten money, if they try to dictate terms to the economy, democracy will be in peril. Can India exist tomorrow? Just imagine the type of acrimony which is being generated across India now. With this ill-gotten money, these people, if they start funding political parties, now already they have taken away everything. Unfortunately, even the Election Commission of India increased the ceiling limit of the candidates spending in the assembly elections. Leave out parliament. Now no common interested citizen can contest the elections. You have made it very corporate culture. With this ill-gotten money, if they enter politics, this ill-gotten money, if they enter our business thresholds, if this ill-gotten money, if they enter with our health sector, now we have seen sports. Everyone has got doubts now. All of a sudden, Lucknow to him, this to him. From where are they getting this money? Is this the source? Regularize. You make people to play and you give them some money, some doles. But these doles, people should understand this is our hard-earned money which has been siphoned off in the form of corruption, dirty money, black money, being brought back in this way, and now they are going to control our lives. That is the danger. And when it becomes totally digital, just imagine with these powers at the helm, what will happen to commoner or citizens of India and the world alike. We have to really think. That means our independence, our right to life, and our right to spend, right to health, whatever it is, everything will be in danger. That means the entire democratic process will be derailed by these dictates of illegal means of powers. That is a big danger. I hope Parliament will start debating and discussing, and they will come out with a good policy which will benefit India. And this policy should be transparent and accountable. Only then you will allow RBI, ED or IT departments, regulatory bodies will function. Otherwise, it is gone case. Thank you, sir. Once again, wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Dr.
I hope all parliamentarians will watch it all Legislators will watch this, all political parties, and including all common citizens. You have to become sensitized. It is our money, it is our country, and you decide now who has to dictate or who has to rule us. Thank you, sir. For all the Indians, Sukhanidra Shubharatri. For the world over, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is a wake-up call for all citizens across the globe. Thank you. Bye, sir.
Thank you.
And we will retelecast this. We will announce it. And at the same time, don't worry. In spite of all the hacking and whatever it is, we have with noble intentions. We have got wonderful guests. They will all be there to give you the best information possible so that you become sensitized and you are a constitutional authority through which the decisions have to be taken involving you, every citizen of this country. Thank you, sir. Good night.